This program is a joint production of the Kimokeo Foundation, whose mission is to preserve and perpetuate Hawaii's unique culture, language, people, and environment. Information is online at kimokeo.org. And Maui Causes, a crowd-funded media production group supporting not-for-profit, progressive, and environmental causes in Maui County. Join us on the web at mauicauses.org.
Aloha. Good morning. Aloha kakiaka. Welcome to the Kimokeo Foundation Talk Story. And this morning I have a guest, and it's really a great pleasure for me to have him on board because he and I just traveled to the island of Kauai. He arrived this morning, I arrived yesterday, and let me introduce you, my friend, my brother, my ohana, Michael Phillips.
Aloha, Maui.
So Michael, I'm really great to have you on this Kimokeo Foundation show because you played a very intricate part of the development of Kimokeo Foundation. So can you share with the ohana how we met and how we got involved and where we're at today, and also give them a background of who you are, what you do, and where you're going with your business.
Well, thanks for having me today. What an honor to be here with you, Kimokeo, and talk about the Foundation's work and the starting of it, the beginning of how it all happened and years ago, and then finally getting it really to fruition and really get it up and running this last year. And this year will be our first full year of the Kimokeo Foundation, and it's been an honor to serve as the treasurer of the board. As you know, most of our ohana is on the board, so it's really a family project, and it's a family goal to get what you desire to get for the Hawaiian people and the culture of the language, and preserve really what the heritage of Hawaii is. You know, I think when I first got going on this project, I didn't realize the significance of it, nor being an outsider from Hawaii and only being here for 20 years, I think I know something about the culture, but what I have learned in the past, just the last year, has been amazing, because I think the works that the foundation and what we're trying to accomplish will last us many, 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 many centuries later, because the preservation of your Hawaiian language is a necessary to have the culture continue. So, I mean, I think the nicest story I like to share with people is how we got this all begin just 2 years ago when you took me up to that school.
Yeah. So I invited Michael to the Pūnana Leo school up in Wailuku and to meet the kahu Kihei. And she was really a beautiful lady to meet and share with that. And so I told Michael that he would have to be quiet because they don't allow us to speak English there.
And that's very hard for me to stay quiet, so that was pretty difficult.
So we went in the back room, and Michael learned about Kihei. So tell him about that particular day, Michael, because that kind of usually is an eye-opener for people, because everybody thinks that our language is not being spoken, and I mean you've been here 20 years and you've never gone into the building, and right. The whole reason the Kimokeo Foundation is making sure that we preserve the language, because a question was asked a couple years back up in the mainland with you, Kimokeo, what would you do, Mm-hmm. And I said I would preserve the language to preserve my culture.
O ka hakalama ke kahi mea e Pūnana Leo ai ka Pūnana Leo.
O ka imi na awa ma ke ia papahana Pūnana Leo, kukulu ia ma luna o ke kahi kālai ike ku'una Hawaii. A ole loa ka awale iki.
Ma la ma ke keiki I ke kalo.
Mai ka iloa. Ila ana hoi, makamakau helu helu, ua paa ke kahi o nai hana. Ua lawe kahiki ia ke ia mai ka mikionali, ke ia o nai hana helu helu ma ka palapala. I loko ke kai wā pokole, ua aapono ka nui lehu lehu, a ma ka wā o ka hooka huli au puni mo I, ua laha loa ma wai na makahi o ke kanaiwa kumahiku pakeneka oi o ka la hui, ua hiki ke helu helu. He la hui a ka maino hoi ke la.
The hakalama is a syllabary. It's a way of learning to read by syllables.
There are exactly 90 units to the syllabary, and once a child learns all 90, they can read any Hawaiian word that exists.
Wa,
Wa,
I,
I,
a,
A,
na,
Na,
he, wai anai.
Wai, Anai.
It's a natural thing. Other languages have syllabaries. In fact, the one we most know about is Japanese and the hiragana syllabary. So Hawaiian can be read syllabally. But not only that, the hakalama is a perfect syllabary. In other words, there's not exceptions.
Unlike English, with its various complexities such as consonant clusters and multiple spellings for one sound.
Tough and philosophy versus fish. I mean, all the different ways you can spell F, the F sound. So English has such a complex spelling system that children have to memorize the spelling of each word.
In addition to the hakalama syllabary itself, the method for teaching it is uniquely Hawaiian as well, a methodology that Dr. Wilson believes is rooted in Hawaiian learning environments dating back to the 1800s.
I think few people realize in Hawaii that when the missionaries came, they didn't really do a lot of teaching themselves. They developed the alphabet and they worked with the ali'i a little bit, but they really couldn't speak Hawaiian that well. So the ali'i started these kind of halau-like schools out in the country. And so what do they do in the halau? They chant. And the thing they could chant is these single-syllable words. And so I believe that's how it happened.
O ka hana ana I nā kuhi lima, ka mālama ana I kela ano lawena ke mele, he mea Hawaii ia. Awili ia kela mau mea ma ka mea ho'okahi. Ke kahi manawa, ale no pana na kiki ma ka pana kupano. Eia no nae, a o ia I hele a maa, a pela lako e a o ai mau ka ho'olohe wale no. O ia kekahi ka hua hou aku o ka helu helu. Ka kona keiki I ke ana kuhi ke kumu mai kekahi ao aku, ai kekahi ao. Mai ka hema, ai ka ākau. Ho'i hou I kekahi ao, hema ākau mai luna a I lalo. A pela kako e helu ai, hema I ka ākau mai luna a I lalo. A lilo kela mau ka nana wale kona mau makau maka. Lilo kela he kahua.
All children go through certain stages in their psychological development, cognitive development. All children can divide up language into words by age 2. They can divide them up by syllables by age 4. And they can divide them up by individual sounds or phonemes by age 6. So if you're going to read by individual sounds, you're not going to be able to have the child learn to read until they're 6 at the very earliest. Really read. But if by syllables, such as the hakalama, you can have children reading by age 4.
Ka lepo.
No matter what language you learn to read in, you can transfer the skill of reading into another language, especially if it uses the same alphabet, like English and Hawaiian.
Mai kai ho'oia, mai kai.
The trick to reading is understanding the concept that these marks on paper represent words and thoughts. It's a very deep concept. But once they get it and they understand, all I have to do is figure out this puzzle, how it fits together to language. They're able to transfer it into any other language that they know. The hakalama is something Hawaiian that was somehow created by those kupuna and the ones before them and was used in Hawaiian families, and it produced some really good academic results. And just for historical purposes, to have it as part of the curriculum is important. But it's really great. It's an academically successful thing that is a true benefit that the Pūnana Leo keeps on moving forward. They keep on figuring out new ways to teach it and train teachers. So I'm really, really happy that we have it.
O keia kula o ka Pūnana Leo, he Hawaii mana ano a pau. Pili pū e ke kāle ike. No ka mea, e like me ko kākou mau kūpuna. Ike lākou I ka ike hou, lomi ia, ho'ohana ia, au ano ho'o Hawaii ia, ma ke ano he kūpono. A oia pū ka kākou hana, mana Pūnana Leo a pau. I kupono no ko kākou nu'ukia I puka lana kila.
So share them the moment of entering the building of Pūnana Leo at the Ka'ahumanu Church in the back.
Well, I was a little blown away because I didn't realize how many children were going to be in there when we got there. So when we walked up, as you know, we were told to be quiet and also not to speak any English of any kind, and of course not knowing Hawaiian, but to understand some of the words, but not to understand being able to talk to it. It was easy for me to shut my mouth because I had to. But in the same regard, you know, when we walked in there, it was just an amazing culture experience, and then to see the little kids, and these are very young children. I think their oldest was 5 or 6,
Yeah,
maybe?
4 to 5 years old.
4 to 5 years old, so they were very young. And to hear them and see them learning their language and their culture from the teachers and the dedication of the people that work there was really something, because I think one of the girls was very young, 16, maybe 18 years old, and you know, she was passing on the Hawaiian language to the Kiki, and it was really something moving. And I thought to myself when I was there how instrumental that was. And then after talking to the teacher, or the head, we had talked to the head lady, didn't we?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Kili.
Keely, yeah. We talked to Keely, and then she talked about the expense of this and the dedication of the parents of what they have to do. And I thought to myself, how is this so wrong to have this so expensive and so unbelievably crazy that the parents have to sacrifice so much to have their own children learn the culture? And I was really moved about it because God has blessed me with an abundance of some things. And I thought to myself, we got to figure out how we can help our local people and anybody that's interested in getting the language and getting the Hawaiian language and knowing the language and how to get it taught. And as you had stated a few minutes ago, you know, I asked you long ago, or 2 years ago or so, you know, if Kimokeo, you died tomorrow, what would you want your legacy to be? What would you want? What is there one thing that you would want? And your answer was?
My answer was, you know, to preserve the language,
Right.
as you know. And if we preserve the language, we preserve the culture.
Right.
And so we, Kimokeo Foundation, want to assist their nonprofit Naleo Pulama and Pūnana Leo to build a school. And so that's how we started off, you know.
Right.
And we started off our foundation December 15th, 2016.
Yeah, actually it's been almost 1 year.
And we're going to do that 1 year of our foundation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had a founder package to come inside. So share them with them about our founder package and who are these people and what we plan to do.
Okay. Well, to finish the story on the school, I'd like to finish up by saying that, you know, when we were there, the school was not in good repair. The steps were dangerous to go into. The school needed a lot of work. This building is a century old probably, and you know, the facility that they were in was not good. The roof was in terrible shape, if you remember.
Yes.
She was telling us about how it rained and something like that. So I thought in the beginning that, oh, we'll just fix this place up, or, you know, raise some money to maybe do something there, and also augment the tuition. The tuition for the children were so expensive that, you know, local people paying all this money to be able to educate their own children in their language, I thought was so significant to their household budget that we'd have to figure out a way that we could offset maybe that tuition, repair this. And my head was going crazy when I was there because I was so moved. As you know, I was crying.
Well,
Because of the need.
Yeah.
They really needed a need. They had a need.
Yeah, so as you can see, Michael's pretty heartfelt for what we had seen there, but more so is that now he's taken an action plan with Kimokeo Foundation as a treasurer, and to fundraise and to get the funding to make it possible. So we have founders, and we're looking to work with their nonprofit, Naleo Pulama and Pūnana Leo. They have a plan. Kihei has worked really, really hard for the last years, and we really thank you, Kihei, for all the work you've done. and all the ohana. We cannot say how thankful we are for you having these plans and instructions, and we wish both you, Pūnana Leo, and Naleo Palama, work with us on the plans, and our job as Kimokeo Foundation is to go out and seek the funding and seek the need that we need to build a building. So I think that's what we wanted to say to the ohana, and if the ohana want to get involved, they can just go to kimokeo.org, and press the button and say donate, and all these funds we donated is going to be gone to our what we call our priority, which is the working with Naleo Palama and Pūnana Leo to build the building, And so there's November 10th there, Pūnana Leo Maui, which is in Wailuku, is celebrating their 30th year. And so if any of you guys want to do something, do something for them for the 30 years, I would suggest that you call them up and or call us up and start donating money for the project. So it's well needed, and we wish that this project gets to be done as quickly as possible. But one of the things that I need to explain to you, I want Mike to explain his business and what we're doing with the businesses, starting with his business. So Mike, would you explain who you are, what you're founder of, and what you've done, and where we've been, and one of the reasons you and I just came back from Kauai.
Yeah. Well, about 9 years ago, I had an idea of having something called a little fish cafe in Kihei, thinking that I was going to have some economical food and work for maybe 3 hours a day and supply some great Ono food for my friends, especially the people at my church that weren't able to go out to eat and spend $40 or $50 on food. And as you know, I'm a chef and I'm crazy about food and textures and all these things. So I opened up Coconut's Fish Cafe about 9 years ago for fun. And of course, 9 years later, it's turned into something much greater than that. And in doing so, we've got to share the aloha throughout the United States. As you know, we have opened locations outside Hawaii, and they're all very successful, and I think they're really successful for the culture that we bring to them. Kimokeo happens to be our culture advisor to our company of Coconut's Fish Cafe, and when he goes out, we really wow the employees, the franchisees, the owners of the place, because if they've been to Hawaii, they've experienced something like aloha, but when you bring it into their household and you bring it into their business, it's really something. And so we thought this year that it would be a good idea that our company would get really on board with the Kimokeo Foundation and started dedicating some of the resources that we were able to do by our rewards program. So a rewards program is something like Safeway has, or Long's has, or somebody like that. They have these reward programs to customers. Well, we decided to allow our local people and people in the mainland to be able to donate directly through our rewards program to the Kimokeo Foundation. That way, if they don't want discounts for themselves, or they don't want whatever offering we're going to do them, our rewards program is going to comes right up on the screen. It says, would you like to donate your rewards to Kimokeo Foundation? And in doing so, I think this is a great idea, Kimokeo, maybe to expand this throughout not only Maui, but the other islands that would like to help us do this, because I think we could raise a lot of money. And since I'm the treasurer, I'm the guy that's responsible for helping do that. And I think we could do that through other businesses as well, because, local people need to get involved, local businesses need to get involved, because this is the preservation of the culture of Hawaii. And the only way we're going to do that is get multiple people involved. And this is an easy program. I know we've had some interest already from Nalus, from Ron, about doing it.
Yeah, Ron Ponzo is on board. So I sent him the email you told me about, 5star.com. And I think it's a great idea you're talking about, that out of business to get involved. Yeah. So any of you guys have any business out there that's a restaurant or way of rewarding, you can do that. Just call 5star.com, and you can look at the reward program and get on board and raise some funds for Kimokeo Foundation, so we can build this building that we're talking about with Naleo Palama and Pūnana Leo.
All right. And I think, as we get expanded, only being a year into this now, we've opened up with the fundraiser of the Kimokeo Foundation as founding members. We have now closed that founding member part of it out now. You can still donate to the foundation, of course, but we got some great seed money. You've already donated $10,000?
We donated $10,000 for the ho'omau that they had originally out in March.
Right.
And we're going to go before them November 10th to do another surprise of making a donation that would help them out on their project.
So the people that donate to our foundation has already seen us get involved. Not only have we collected their money, but we have done something with their money, and we've made positive steps in moving forward to what the foundation is for. So instead of collecting all this money and just saving it up, you've decided, you've got to give a little bit along the way and help out in this process. And in doing so, it's really great to see the founding members' money at work immediately. It didn't take any time. We raised the funds. You got the funds. We gave the funds away, and it's really something to see that happen. I've been a part of a lot of fundraising people, a lot of things, and they really try to collect all the money, and they wait till the resources are completely there and start giving it out. Unlike your vision was, we got this, let's give it to them now as they need the need is here, and the need was there, and it was really great to see. And they were extremely surprised on the first gift that the Kimokeo Foundation gave them, because they were not expecting it all. And of course, a $10,000 donation right off the bat was something significant by saying, hey, we are your partners. We really want to be involved. Not only do we really want to be involved, but we got to get the community involved in an action plan by demonstrating, the strength of the Kimokeo Foundation by just giving that significant check right off the bat. I mean, I don't even think we had the foundation going more than 3 or 4 months by that time, did you? So, I mean, that was just really something significant. But, the hardest thing about raising money, there's a lot of great causes out there. There's plenty of things to do in Hawaii and to think about, and for business owners and people that have, extra money to give out. But how important is the language and the preservation of the Hawaiian language to the culture of Hawaii? I mean, there's not many significant things. I know Kimokeo does tons of things with youth centers, canoe clubs, and whatever have you. But the importance of this, the language, is so significant that I don't like to say it outweighs this, but I mean, as you have said many times, if you don't have language, you have nothing. And even the Kumu was here recently with you on the show. Unbelievable interview, unbelievable show. I was just blown away, crying most of the time, because I'm definitely get emotional. But when he talked about his works and your guys' works, and what you have learned from him and your training through him, I think that vision was given to us by God long ago, and had a process and a plan for you. And to see it in person the other day here when you interviewed him was really something. I hope the viewers got to see that.
The language definitely overweighs everything. I mean, everything is in the language. Mm-hmm. The spiritual part of our language connects us with everything, connects us with our heavens, our ocean, and our land. And it will always overweigh a lot. So it's really important to me personally, and sharing with you guys as the board members, you, Michael Phillips, the treasurer. We have Joylyn Paman, who is with us, my daughter Napua, your daughter Frances One, and my daughter Napua, and Kahu Lyons Naoni. And we are very thankful for Frances, because she worked with our attorney, Carrie Mailing, and we're thankful for Naeem Ferguson, again, for founders of working with us with Kimokeo Foundation. But I think that this reward program that we have with Coconuts Fishing Cafe on all the islands, like we have on Kauai, and here we have one on Kauai just opened up yesterday.
Hallelujah.
So congratulations on your ninth franchise, ninth franchise on your 9th year.
Yeah.
And we have 3 in Arizona, 1 in Sacramento, 1 in Cupertino, and we have
2 here in Maui.
2 in Maui, and we're about to open up in Los Angeles.
Right.
So
it's been really a blessing, to watch the people go crazy over this. As you know, when you're opening something for fun, it's kind of like what you do with your canoes and your works that you do. You know, you do a lot of your things in giving for fun. And, you know, not to have to open a business and worry about cash flow and worried about profits and all that thing was really something really crazy, because when I opened it, you know, I really had a vision of just having something very small, and then on top of having that, you know, just having something good to eat close to my house, and then also offering my friends and neighbors something affordable. Yeah. And, you know, God's plan was something much greater than that. You know, we have now 29 sold throughout the United States. We have about 125 people on a waiting list to buy one. And it's not just over the food, Kimokeo, as you know. It's really not. It's really about the culture that we try to give to our employees, about sharing the aloha, sharing the experience, and the principles of the restaurant, of knowing what the customer is about, you know.
Well, I think it's really important that people like you, Michael, who been on the island for 20 years and really engulf the culture, and being aboard with Kimokeo Foundation, taking your business and making a reward program. And like we have 9 here and have 29 sold, 20 more to open up, 125 more people. And your idea of having more rewards program is a great idea. And as you know that I talked a lot about streaming with the musicians, so we'll be doing that, you know. So Kimokeo is like on a tour, you know. I just got back from Santa Monica, San Diego, Anaheim, introducing Kimokeo Foundation to other canoe people. And I'm headed back up to Redland, California this afternoon to open up ESRI conference, and Kimokeo Foundation will be on their list about how to, you know, raise funds for Kimokeo Foundation and how to keep our language, you know.
This program is a joint production of the Kimokeo Foundation, whose mission is to preserve and perpetuate Hawaii's unique culture, language, people, and environment. Information is online at kimokeo.org. And Maui Causes, a crowd-funded media production group supporting not-for-profit, progressive, and environmental causes in Maui County. Join us on the web at mauicauses.org.
I think the interest of the, you know, mainland and spreading the word, it's just like social media nowadays with, you know, good restaurants. Everybody shares it on, you know, all these different organizations. And I think what you're trying to do with your works of going outside the islands to, you know, get the culture of the Kimokeo Foundation is important, because I think it shows, you know, people that should care about, you know, Hawaii. They come here, they visit here, they enjoy the lands of your ancestries, and it's time to give back. It really is. And I think for people to understand the passion, and then also understand that, you know, your money is going to a great cause, and it's going to great works, and it's being used in great works and demonstrated in great works. So I mean, we got all these things going for us, and I really, you know, believe that it's part of who you are, and it instills people to, you know, get involved and also to, you know, write checks. The bottom line comes down to is you can't do this without money. You know, I think the gold is what, $2 million is it for the school?
Oh, well, it's more than that. You know, their original plan, the budget was like about $10 million, but
yeah.
But since then we've gotten more, you know, about 400 volunteers,
right.
And they've allowed us to work with volunteers, you know,
right.
And we have other companies that want to get involved with that. So once we decide on the land and the property and permit, then everybody will come to the fold. So I don't think that's going to take long. We just have to get it permitted, and we're ready to go. Yeah. And with the volunteers, I think that's going to cut more than half, you know, down. But we just have to continuously working forward with that. But we've made great progress in communication with Naleo Polama and Pūnana Leo. There's some exciting things happening on November 10th. They're going to premiere a film that they've been making with the language. You've seen a little clip and a thing of that. And they're also working with the renderings on the film. So a lot of people will be surprised with that. And we're part of that source. So, and I'm really looking forward to make another presentation to them on November 10th.
Well, I hope we can get clips of this and show this at future broadcasts for your shows, because I think it's important to show, you know, really where this money is going and what it's going to go for. Because if people on the viewing audience would see what this is really about, I think they could really grasp on to understanding the need of it, the reason for it, and then also write some checks. Because I mean, the bottom line comes down to is we really need to raise a lot of money.
I think they know it's a need, so they just need to write the check.
I like that.
Fun, you know?
e lilo ana vo I kanaka o kinai mahalo.
I ko haku mua ana I ke ia mele, ua haku wau me ke ea, ano wiki ano naue, he mele naue, no leila, hele au I ke kula mai ka I, ma ka Pūnana Leo no lulu a ka nae, I ko ulawe ana I ke ia mele, I ko mako poe, o hana ni hao, ua loli ku umele I mele, ni hao, a wali, hele au I ke kula sai, awe, ya, kapili Kimokeo mele, a ka nae. Ua nani a ua lohe wau I ke kahi himeni ai. Himeni ni e hau me ke ea like. No leila ike wau o e paha ko lako mana o Elohe mai. No wau. Ale pela wau I haku ai kia mele aka. Ale pili kia.
Ke nui a e wau, e lilo ana wau, he kanaka kina iahi mahalo.
Next week's show is going to be featuring Joylyn Paman, who is with Naleo Palama, the nonprofit.
Right.
And so she'll be sharing that part of a venture, as partners with Pūnana Leo. So that's going to be really exciting for the public to know that, we're not commanding or directing them, we're just assisting them and complimenting them on what Kihei has worked for many years, you know. 30 years, so I would credit her for that work, and it is her awesome dream to finish this up. So we want to compliment that dream of Kihei, and we thank you very much, Kihei, for bringing Pūnana Leo 30 years into where you're at, and we look forward to celebrating that, Yeah,
it'll be a fun celebration. I think if there's viewers out there that have great ideas about how to help us, we're willing to listen. Not only are we willing to listen, we're a new foundation. I know there's a lot of great foundations out there doing a lot of work. We're looking to expand our board with people that are experienced, number one. Number two, that would have the passion that you have about the culture of the language and preserving it. And then number three, some resources that maybe we don't know about or think about that we can get. So anybody out there watching us today, have any of these answers to these questions, we would love to hear from you, because I think it's important to get more people involved. I also feel that the people that are here making a living, like these mainland companies, these big, huge companies, really need to find out that we have a need. And I think if we could get to those people and those right people at those boards and those, where the profit centers are these companies, to allow them to, help us out with building the future of the preserving the language. I mean, I think it would be really great. So any viewers out there would have this information, we would love to have it, because I think it's important for us to, multiply. We're definitely going to have to multiply when you're talking about millions and millions of dollars to raise. We're not going to just do this off cake sales and bake sales. We're really going to have to do this. Even taco sales at Coconut Fish Cafe. We're going to really have to get a lot of people involved.
Well, I think you hit it right on the spot, Michael. I think you hit it on the spot that we have companies up here that working, and I know many companies have donated, to culture and environment, Right. But this particular thing that we're talking about, Pūnana Leo, which is the Hawaiian language, which now have a Pūnana Leo in Lahaina, Pūnana Leo in Hana, So what we're about to do with Pūnana Leo here on Maui at Wailuku is a micro thing that, if we can do this, then we can also continue to support them, sustainably, both, Lahaina and Hana. But I think that you made a point with all the companies, I think the companies want to give back. And I think this, Akaku, we got to mahalo Akaku for having us on the show, because this is one way we can communicate to the public, that there's a need. The need is to preserve the language. If everybody look at the economics of here, that, the biggest demand is about the culture and its people, I mean, it's It's a statistic shown by all the larger magazines like National Geographic. You know, people want to see environment, but also they want to see culture.
Ko'i'e'i'e Loko I'a Fish Pond on the island of Maui is listed on the U.S. Register of Historic Places. Back in 1996, the Association of Fish Ponds of Maui began renovating. Thought to be about 500 to 600 years old, Ko'i'e'i'e Loko I'a is another example. Some would say it's a conduit between the past and the modern world. Fish ponds all over the state are being restored. The aquaculture techniques and values of Hawaiian stewardship are being passed on to new generations.
As you work with the puaku and you work in the different areas of the fish pond, you find different lifestyle of different species on each section. In fact, they're pretty territorial. You know, we had a high school student came and do a study only on the species, and they show you how the fish was one place, you know, a certain seaweed was one place, a growth of the coral was one place, the color of the coral was different for different places. So it was pretty fascinating that our kupuna know what was in there, what wasn't there, and what they're going to be able to harvest. So it's a you know, it's amazing thing that what was left behind. So when we look at that, I think it was a whole kupu. It was a gift left in legacy for the people in the Mokupuni, the island like Maui, the Moku, our district like Kula, our Ahupua'a like Ko'ono'ulu, and then our local I'a. So if you look at that, everybody talk about, oh, you know, how we manage our land. Well, if we just look at that aspect, Mauka Makai, you know, Mauka all the way down to the ocean. So if you don't know Mauka and you come Makai, you're kind of lost. You know, you're not one half person. You're one half person. You're not one whole person.
We've talked about the significance of water management and the importance of keeping sediment and other pollutants from reaching our nearshore areas. Another valuable component that is often underappreciated are the educational and outreach efforts extended to our communities. Building this support is another necessary step towards achieving sustainability.
The fish pond next to us, Ko'i'e'i'e Loko I'a, the Hawaiian fish pond, it's overseen by a nonprofit organization led by Uncle Kimokeo Kapahulehua and Joylyn Paman. And the association helps us by providing the cultural-based activities, and the sanctuary comes in and provides the science-based activities. So it's a joint relationship and partnership that we can allow the opportunities for education and teaching of both science and culture in one locale. So affords us that great opportunity, and we've been partners since their inception back a few years ago.
Private organizations like Kamehameha Schools recognize the value of place-based learning and have invested heavily in exposing students to places like the Hawaiian fish ponds. This group of students from West Oahu are getting hands-on experience at Loko I'a Fish Ponds in Haleiwa, which is on the northern shore of Oahu. Stewardship, teamwork, and an appreciation for Hawaiian culture are a couple of lessons learned here.
When we look back in traditional Hawaiian resource protection or resource management, we know that the ocean didn't just take care of itself and the land-based activities didn't just take care of themselves. They were combined efforts in what we know as the Ahupua'a system, or the mountains to the sea system, or the very shallow reef flats. So here at the Humpback Whale Sanctuary, even though our kuleana, or our responsibility, is on the ocean, we do know that the ocean cannot be without the land-based activities. And so we're hopefully changing that as we move along in our new management plan approach to be more holistic and be more of a ecosystem-based marine sanctuary, where we take into consideration what's happening on the land and work with our partners that do land-based activities and try to merge both of them so that we have a holistic approach to taking care, not just taking care of the ocean, but taking care of our land-based activities, and hopefully forging back that relationship of the Ahupua'a mentality, where you take care of Mauka to Makai.
So we spoke about Ko'i'e'i'e Loko I'a, which is our nonprofit for the fish pond that we have, and we're about 18 years now into the process. And we've probably now have 40,000 students that have come through the 18 years with that.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, to think of and to watch this happen in Kihei, close to my house, is really something to watch.
Well, you came and witnessed Uncle Francis came down there and build a makaha.
Oh, that was literally amazing. And to see the people from all over the islands to come and do this, another one of those heartwarming, one-of-a-kind experiences that we as local people or people that live here just don't understand the culture of this, and to watch them work together as a team and watch them do it in the old ways of doing everything, nothing modernized, nothing sawing, nothing, the way of Hawaiian people did it was really something to see.
Yeah, they call it kahea, Michael. Kahea is the call out,
Yeah.
And so that was Uncle Francis did. He called out, and everyone came from different islands and practitioners and go ahead and build a makaha. So in fact, that's the first makaha built on the island of Maui, And so we're very proud of the fact that Uncle Francis and the team from all the different places, and COA is not a nonprofit organization that does policy and regulation in legislature, and they organize every year different practitioners from different islands to fly here. So we really had practitioners from Kauai, Oahu, the Big Island, Molokai, Lanai, and our own practitioners up here. So it was really amazing for you to witness that.
It was not only to witness it, but they all camped out on the beach and they all stayed there, and they all had to feed themselves in the old-fashioned way without microwaves and stoves and all these kind of things.
Yeah, well, that's our accommodation that was with us before, and that's our accommodation we have. So
yeah,
it was really great that everybody sleep there. And the reason for that, it takes a village to build the canoe, and it takes a village to build the fish pond.
I know you probably could talk an hour on the fish pond in itself because of the significance that it's had to the culture of Hawaii and bringing one back to life where you have. What I am very amazed at when I go out there, the amount of work it is to do this. And the sea does a lot of things for us, and the ocean does a lot of things to these walls, that how you have to continue to rebuild them, continue to put labor into them, continue to work them. And this is not some small task.
They call it hana kalima, yeah? Hana is to work, lima is your hand. What we put in the wall is what we get out of it, And so, in revitalizing the wall, we revitalize the culture, and basically having everything come back with that revitalization. It's almost like a subdivision.
Yeah.
You build a subdivision, everybody move in it. So we build in a wall, the opihi comes back, the aama come back, the kohono come back, the puhi come back, So all of that is probably foreign to a lot of people in languages, the vana. So it's called a sea urchin, the eel, and all the i'a, different i'a would be the different fishes, And having the mullet, the moi, and the ava come back, and the hono is a fabulous thing when you work on that, So.
If people haven't seen the fish pond, you really got to go out there. It's right next to the Whale Museum, right on South Kihei Road. It's very easy to find, and it's identified by the gate that was built for the fish to go in and out. But I think they have classes out there and stuff they offer.
Yeah, we offer community work, and we also do a lot of education things with all the school institutions that we have on Maui,
Yeah, it really is amazing to watch the people work out there. And I even went out there and worked not recently, about a year ago, before my back had a problem, and then one of my friends broke their finger by moving those big rocks.
The Morley.
Morley guy, Steve Morley, yeah. And but it was really interesting to see his kids get involved. If you remember, the Morleys had about 3 children, and 2 of them were boys. 2 of them were girls, and one is a boy. And they got involved in moving the rock and helping preserve the culture of the pond, and to really do that. And how Vinny and you and Jolyn and all these guys have, mustered this up to be a ohana experience, an ohana of all cultures, of all people, to really come out and preserve and protect the pond. It's really something to see. If you haven't seen the pond, you guys are missing out. So I'm telling you, you really should come and see it.
The ohana concept is really great because you have the kupuna and you have the makua and the keiki, and passing on the knowledge by just working, together, and they work with aloha, so they get things done.
Whose idea really was it to bring the fish pond back to?
Well, that was really established way back by the Hawaiian Island Humpback National Marine Sanctuary by Ellen Tom, and then they wanted to work with Walter Reedy on Molokai. He said they're not going to work with any outsiders but the Koko, which is the Hawaiian people. And so Joylyn and myself joined up and requested him to come with us, and that's how it all started.
That was 18 years ago, and it's a living, breeding fish pond that is absolutely unbelievable to see. And it's a resource that is really nice for our Kiki and our children to learn, the old-fashioned way of what Hawaii was really about. And how many fish ponds were on this side of the island? Do you know, back in the olden days?
Well, back in the olden days, we have right now on record over 6 or 8 on the South Shores.
Yeah.
But there's many on Molokai, and there's many here, many in Oahu, Kauai, and the Big Island. We found a few on Lanai, and we found one on, they think that it's a fish pond on Kaho'olawe. So because of that research of Molokai people, Walter Reedy and Ohana over there establishing fish pond development, it's gone not viral, but it's gone through all of the islands to do an establishment there. So now we have them on all the islands.
I know we're talking about Kimokeo Foundation and been talking about this all day. How do people get involved in helping maybe with the fish pond? Because I know this is one of your loves and one of your great works. And if they want to volunteer,
all they have to do is call 359-1172. It's our system of phone calling for working on a fish pond, community work day, or having school reservations. So they will call the number, area code 808-359-1172.
And and if you haven't got a classroom or you got some kids in a nursery school or that are old enough to come out for a visit, you guys have tours for it. You guys have great programs. I've seen hundreds of kids out there.
We have a culture tour over there for the visitor, and we have a culture tour for our kamainas and our own students. So they just have to come there and give us a call on that number, and we'll share the va'a and the local ER with them.
So the success of the fish pond that this man has demonstrated is something just part of the Kimokeo ideas. The foundation of trying to continue the success of all these other things and attack different issues that people aren't addressing. And the fish pond was non-existent, nothing there 18 years ago, nobody's idea. And now look and see what you and what a lot of great people have done with that work. And just think if we can do the same with the Kimokeo Foundation, with the other things that we have as a priority to helping the culture of Hawaii.
One of them is Hu'iwa Akaulu, which is double hull voyaging canoe. And the other one was working with different parts, like Uncle Francis building a holly and being licensed to do building Hawaiian hollies around,
Right.
And
well, I think when we start beginning this with Carrie Mailing and all the rest of these great people that helped us get this really moving, we didn't have the culture language at the first step of what your giving of the foundation was going to be, and then when we went up to the school, we all got on board with that. So in the facets of the Kimokeo Foundation, once we accomplish this, our other goals are plentiful. And they're plentiful to deal with the culture of Hawaii. And it really is all about the culture. If it's not canoeing, if it's not youth groups, it's not the language, it's all these other things combined to them. And the vision of the legacy of this Kimokeo Foundation will not be in just our lifetimes. These will last forever, and we'll be fortunate enough to be able to raise the money that this thing will be going on for a century after we're gone, we hope. And in that doing so, really the full-time work of the foundation is really about the culture, culture. And if it's through canoeing, if it's through all these other youth activities that I know that you're really involved in, I think that will be the way that this will last forever. And, you did just have to reach out to us. The very first thing is send us an email, send us and
that is?
By kimokeo.org, and you can go on there. You can go on there and donate. You can also go on there and get a hold of us, which is the most important thing, because I think in getting a hold of us, and what I've asked the viewers today, your viewers today, is that they have some of these resources that we've talked about here in the last 30, 40 minutes, that they would get involved, because these big companies that are over here that we don't have direct contact with and how to get to them. And also, a lot of public people are watching this in the public that have resources as well. We actually need your money. And for those that don't have the internet or don't want to do any of that kind of stuff, you can also mail to us. Our mailing address is at 1743 Halama Street in Kihei. Again, that's at 1743 Halama Street in Kihei. And 96753, I believe it is.
96752 Kihei.
And if you want to write to us the old-fashioned way, and or write us a check that way, that's fine and dandy too. We'll be happy to do that. But I think the the demonstration of what these kids do and what we're going to show, after we talk today is really going to be significant, because that's really what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're really trying to impact that.
Yeah.
And to see these little kids and their faces and the joy that they have about learning their own language is really something. For me, I am tongue-tied with this, as you know. I am disabled when it comes to the Hawaiian language. I can do these chants with you now, but I had to have them heard hundreds of times to do them. And in the same regard, these kids are really, they're demonstrating what they're being taught.
Yeah.
And that's why this school is so important to the impact of...
Preserve our language,
yeah.
Preserve our culture.
Hallelujah.
Well, thanks, Mike, for being on the Kimokeo Foundation show. I think that we made a real point to the viewers as who we are, what we're doing, and where we're going with our nonprofit Kimokeo Foundation partnership with Naleo Pulama and Pūnana Leo here in Wailuku. And we welcome all the other foundations on Maui.
Absolutely.
You guys really got some sources, and this is a definite need. Preserve our language and we preserve the culture, and this is what we would like to do as Kimokeo Foundation. And we think that you want to do it too. So if you have a voice or communication regarding that, please call us up and send us an email. Mahalo.
This program is a joint production of the Kimokeo Foundation, whose mission is to preserve and perpetuate Hawaii's unique culture, language, people, and environment. Information is online at kimokeo.org. And Maui Causes, a crowd-funded media production group supporting not-for-profit, progressive, and environmental causes in Maui County. Join us on the web at mauicauses.org.